I'm gonna make a hypothesis again.
A hypotenuse?
The first two topics, and then we can
The first two lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we start tangents.
Did you look up?
All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a long time since we've done one. For this one, I thought it'd be cool to have more of a roundtable conversation. We have a few more people. Caleb, to my right, he used to work over at CrossFit OUR. You were the head of events. Did you do anything with the actual gym, like managing?
So I programmed for a while.
Okay, so you did a lot of the programming.
How long was it? A year? Better about a year until I got told to stop doing it.
Okay.
Working too hard, go outside the programming.
Gotcha.
We'll probably get into.
And then we got Josh. He's the one with the accent. If you can't tell, I don't have one. But no, he was the manager at CrossFit OUR. Helped, I'm assuming, programming and kind of run the gym. And then we got Chris, PT Chris, Dr. Chris. It's weird.
Sure.
Call you Dr. McNerney. Does anybody call you Doctor?
McNerney.
Are you a doctor?
Yeah.
It's a
You a
doctorate.
PhD?
No, it's a
I'm
doctorate.
calling doc now.
There's a clear distinction between a doctorate and a PhD. People are like, you can call yourself a doctor. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that
I
guy.
don't care.
I'm not going to be that
You're
guy.
now Doctor. All right, this is
So-
your coach. His name is Doctor.
Dr. Dirt.
We got Chris. We got Houston. Tell me a little bit about you. The only thing I know is you do your own programming for some people, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and you do it / take our class.
Totally.
Anything else? L1s.
Usually people ask like, "Hey, how long you been doing CrossFit?" And I tell them I should be a lot better than what I actually am for how long I've been in this game. But but it started in 2013. My soccer coach made us do it for conditioning. We just got bit by the bug and been doing it ever since. So
Gotcha. Cool. So collectively, we've all been doing it for forever. I feel like I started first workout in 2008. No, I actually started CrossFit in 2010, like consistently. I skipped 2 years because I was like, that was hard. But yeah, isn't that crazy, Josh?
I'm not doing that.
We used to just follow .com because it was like what you did back then. And then Chris, when did you start? It was around
2013.
Okay, so around the same time
Yeah,
as Houston.
same
And then
time.
You guys started 17,
16,
I
17.
was 15.
15? Cool.
End of 15.
So we've all been kind of doing CrossFit for a while now. I think that it's, I feel like we have a pretty good group of wealth of knowledge of just what we've done previously with running gyms or coaching or dealing with athletes or working in the space of fitness. I thought it'd be cool to go over programming. I kind of feel like I nerd out with you guys over programming constantly. And I just think that'd be a good place to start. My starting point for the programming aspect, I think, is going to be where I think HQ is in the idea of programming. And I'm going to separate the games from our conversation. I want to dive into more of that later on, but for this first part is going to be more like affiliate, GPP, just like general programming stuff from the top down. If you go to CrossFit.com, workout of the day, they do program some pretty high skill stuff, which will be like, swim, or it'll be,
5-minute all sit.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, accumulate 5 minutes of an hill sit.
Full day.
Yeah. 14 hours later, and I'm done. But the education side of things, we host L1s and L2s at our gym, and I feel like I've gotten into these conversations with some of the staff, and I feel like the programming aspect from the top-down educational side has not progressed as much as the actual educational side of coaching coaches, scaling, how to properly get someone who has never worked out before to doing, say, a ring muscle up, what's the progression, what's the time frame, how to break things down for your class. I'd say for the programming aspect, I feel like it's still 2004 to 2008.
Well, and maybe
Yeah.
you don't know, CAP programming, CrossFit programming is
CAP, CAP, it's
built around
CrossFit affiliate programming.
one thing a day.
Right.
So there'll be one main piece a day, whether it's one Metcon or even just one strength that you're doing 5 singles for. Then the whole day is built around warming up, going over form, and doing that one thing.
Right.
It's very old school, 3 on, 1 off, educating virtuosity and the few movements a day versus it very much is not do a warm up, do a strength or skills piece, then do a Metcon,
Do a Metcon,
then go home.
yeah.
Right? Like you're taking one thing and stretching out for a full day instead of like filling it up full of different things.
Right. And the thought process behind that is, so they call the strength only days a heavy day. So you come in and you do something like a 5x5 back squat. That's always kind of the general example. And then on the other days, you have a Metcon only day. So just a workout only. Or even kind of like Chris said, like the L-sit accumulate.
High skill stuff.
Those kinds of things is, I took my L2, I think last year or 2 years ago, like re-upped it, and that was still being taught. This is how you should program for your affiliate. Thought process behind it from them is keeps people from being burned out, gives you a chance to teach, and gives you a chance to really set in with your athletes of like, what'd you scale handstand push-ups with last time? Let's do it differently, or here's how you do it. My biggest issue, and then this is where I kind of want to roll into the conversation of what you guys think. My biggest issue with a lot of that is you're not accounting for athletes who've been at your gym for, say, longer than a week. Because if I start my class off with today, we're going to learn how to handstand push up. Josh, you've been doing this since 2016, right? That's 8 years. I'm sure you've been introduced to a handstand push up, right? And it just gets old. It gets to the point where I feel like that's always taught is you should cover how to jump on a box. You break down each movement, say it's a 3-movement Metcon. You spend 10 to 15 minutes on each movement, depending, 5 to 50, whatever. And you teach those movements. And the issue is it's like week over week, month over month. I'm teaching Josh how to do a handstand push-up every week. The same thing, breaking it down as if he's brand new. So you have no progression in my mind. So that's kind of where I wanted this conversation to start is where do you guys see like programming? Like we started, back in the day, Rich Froning and them talked about if it was taught early on that if you did more than one workout a day, you would die, right?
Yeah.
You'd have a heart attack and die because it was too hard.
Yeah.
So they tried it, and then I feel like he changed the face of programming for CrossFit forever. But that's kind of where I wanted to start, and then we'll evolve into the other stuff. Clearly you can tell Caleb doesn't like the old school style just by the giggles.
It's not that I don't like it. It's that it feels like that was what their brand was, and they're sticking to it because that's what they copywritten.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't move away from it because then it would just be functional fitness.
Do you think it's because they've just put their stake in the sand for so long that it's like, well, if we go back now.
100%. I that's how I feel with it. Because it's not a bad way to approach it, but it's almost like the approach was like people just want to come and get a workout. They don't want to think, so you're gonna like go over deadlifts all day. So they don't have to think. They can accumulate the volume through the warm up and the form, and then actually do the 3 of the deadlift. But like, that's what current gyms are doing with the like 2 or 3 piece model. They're not having to think. They can still get a workout for a full hour.
Right.
So it's the same thing. It just isn't hyper fixated on like one bit. You can still coach just as much and still scale just as much, but you have the variability to get people to come back day over day instead of like you said, like if it was a day working over just handstand push-ups, like, okay, I'm pretty proficient at them after a certain point. Like I'm bored.
Right. Or at least I understand the basics of it. And
right.
Like I've been here for a year. I know that, you make a tripod and you kick up this way and all this stuff.
I think the mindset too in general has shifted because early 2000s CrossFit, right? We prided ourselves of like, these are the best trainers in the world, the red shirts, Dave Castro, Nicole Carroll, like when they started the training department, and like their singular focus is how can we deliver the best product to people? But like exactly what you said, and we're talking about this the other day of like, if you're programming 3 sets of max reps of handstand push-ups once or twice a week, and that's kind of the style of a Metcon, like I'm probably not going to come on those days because I think the evolution, right? Like just like what Caleb was saying, like I think on the other side of the coin as well, like you can over program for bad coaching. So it's kind of like this fine line of like, you can
also under program for bad coaching.
Correct.
Because if you, like, honestly, I've been coaching for 14 years, like any kind of like sport or fitness. But if I was told to go coach a full class on 5 singles back squat, like fill an hour of 5 singles with back squat,
I'm gonna have a hard time. I'm gonna have a hard time doing that.
Worked on it, built a thing.
Because I'm a good BSer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I couldn't do it. Hold people's attention for a full hour.
Right.
Like, it'd be wild.
Here was my favorite response to like that. I remember there was a workout that was like, say it was cleans at say 135 or something for the guys, 95 for ladies. I remember it was like a 15-minute workout or something. I remember reading somewhere that one of the like staff, the red shirts or something like that, the L1 staff or somebody was like, just have them build to something that's a little heavier than the workout and then go back down and then start the workout. That's what I would do. And I was like, oh, so you're saying build to a heavy single and in an allotted time, then do the Metcon afterwards. Oh, that's weird. That seems like that's a two-parter. No. During the skill of the warm-up, when you're going over the barbell, just have them build up to something that's a little heavier than the workout. And I'm like, no, you're just saying the same thing but different.
Yeah, and then you know, Houston sees me doing that with Madison, and then next time he's going to want to do that, and then you're trying to do that for, you know what I mean,
right.
From a sustainability standpoint, like
right.
You're going to have 45 different members in your class wanting to do that same thing, and I don't know. I just think from a management perspective, that can get a little. Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of it also comes from the progression of all CrossFitters. Like we're way fitter now than we were 5 years ago.
And
5 years before that.
And that's where I'm getting at.
Right. So the methodology itself always used to be, how do we get average people doing not average things?
Right.
Now most people, not most, a lot of CrossFit gyms have a lot of really fit people.
Yeah.
Like crazy fit people.
Right.
And volume has
especially
to
compared to like their demographic
right.
in the world. But even just like, even if you take the top percentage of their demographic, they're crazy fit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the affiliate CrossFit.com, they offer affiliate programming, correct? Or is it just the workout?
The CAT, Trusted Affiliate Programming.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
2013, I walked in my first CrossFit gym. There's been a ton of gyms in between, probably the same for you guys. I've never been to an affiliate or seen an affiliate that has had one prescription per day, ever.
Heavy day.
Oh,
one
So
Metcon.
we've tried it. You said you've tried it. We've tried it.
Yeah,
I've tried
you've
it.
run cap here.
Not
like,
cap,
but like just
is
like
that what you're talking about?
Totally.
Cap
Like if I, like you were mentioning
Strength
earlier,
piece.
it's like if I walk in, I see on the board, maybe you could get away with it for a deadlift, but I see deadlift 1-1-1-1-1, and I'm gonna finish that if I'm an average gym goer and be like,
20 minutes.
I'm still connecting how heavy I'm breathing to, did I get an effective workout, which comes from the coaching education standpoint, making sure like, hey, just because you're not on the ground dying doesn't mean you didn't have a good workout. But at the end of the day, if I have an hour a day and all I did was pick something heavy up for 5 or 6 reps and now I'm going home,
Right.
it's probably gonna be really tempting for me
If
to
I
eyeball
walked into
other
a
places.
gym like on a vacation and I dropped in and like I saw that written on the board, I'd probably just, hey, do you have open gym or leave? Go find a
I'd
different
be
gym to drop
pissed.
into.
I'd be pissed.
Like I'm gonna pay $20 to go do 5 deadlifts. Like I'm good. I'm out.
It's conflicting because like when you sit in your L2s, they're like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is how we manage it.
Yeah.
And you see them do it and you're like, damn, these guys are really, really good at this.
Right. But like I said,
But I don't think that is representative
but what I'm
of
getting
like,
at is, so it's not that they're BSing their way through the hour because you're like, man, this is really good stuff.
correct.
But in my mind, they're literally making up the crap throughout the hour, and everything's made up, right? But to a certain point, like so one of the ladies that does this, the L1 staff, she owns a gym, and they followed .com for, I think she opened in 07 or 08, and they're still open today. And I think it was last year or like 8 months ago they stopped following .com. From that point, they followed .com.
It's a long time.
A long time, and they were like a week
long
behind,
time.
so that they could, because it's 3 days on, 1 day off, is what you were talking about earlier. They were a week behind, so they can make it Monday through Saturday, Thursdays being like a recovery day or something like that. And anyway, I had asked her once, I was like, hey, on .com, sometimes 5x1 strict pull-up comes up, right? Find a heavy 1 rep max weighted strict pull-up. I was like, what if I have one of my clients, Tony, he's 315, 330 pounds. When he started, he was 400. And I was like, would you have him go through that? And she goes, yeah, I would. I said, you don't feel like you would have a waste of time with him? Because she goes, well, if he can do a strict, if someone can do a strict pull-up that shows me to have a strong shoulder girdle and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I hear you. But do you think that this guy should be trying to find a 1 rep max, I don't know, ring row? Because he's clearly not hanging from the pull-up bar. And if you're trying to do something along those lines, either bent over row or whatever, do you think that he would benefit more from that or from a cardiovascular? And she was like, and I brought up burning calories. And she was like, I've never spoke to anybody in my gym. She was like pretty offended because, me, I'm just telling her how I think. And right. And she goes, I had never once talked to my class or in my gym about burning calories. And I said, guess what? Me neither. But in the back of my mind, I am thinking that. As someone who's 400 pounds overweight, they need to consume less calories than they're burning. And if I can get them to burn an extra 500 or whatever, I know wearables are off. If I can get them heart rate up elevated for an hour 3 times a week, that's going to be more beneficial than spending one of those days in the week to do a heavy ring row.
More
You
value
bring up
too.
it brings up a good point though. What happens if one of those 3 days of the week were already programmed? And that 5x1 strict pull up is just a recovery day.
Right, and they show up, and that's one of their 3 days, and that was one of my issues too. And like on our, if you haven't noticed with my programming, I try to do like a Wednesday, Thursday as a recovery day. I swap them from time to time because if it's every Thursday, and to your point, if I can show up Monday, Wednesday, Thursday because I have a kid and full-time job and my wife this and whatever, and I can only go to the gym 3 times a week, and every Thursday is a recovery day. We're gonna hop on a foam roller for 45 minutes and get on a rower for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, at what point are we burning out? Or like making it where we're not able to keep moving the needle. And that's kind of where I was getting at with a lot of this HQ being stuck back in the early times. And us 5 talking about it doesn't change anything, but it's just, do you see, so the rebuttal against doing how I program, how the majority of the gyms that we go into, how we've programmed, is burnout, right? If I'm coming 6 days a week and I'm getting my heart rate above 180 6 days a week, if I'm burying myself in the floor 6 days a week, how long is that sustainable? I'm going on 15 years and I haven't stopped.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, let me look at any
But I'm also not the norm.
long-term gym right now, or any gym that's been open for a certain amount of time. Like,
That's how they're programming.
you look at their average.
Like that.
But do you think that's good? I personally do because I enjoy it. But do you think that that's sustainable? Because like right now we have, I think I'll just throw out a number 5, maybe 6 people that have been here since 2010, 2009, and that was when Tommy had opened the gym. We have probably, I don't know, I'm throwing out numbers, 20 to 30 people that have been here for the last, I don't know, 10 years. I will go at maybe, and then obviously trickle. It adds more. So do you think that it's a programming standpoint of burnout, or do you think it's more of like attention span, ego? You know what I mean? Do you think more of something like that that's causing burnout? Like obviously sustainability is the key. Get someone to do something for as long as possible. What do you think's causing? And this is could be a topic for you, Chris, is because you're kind of going through it right now, feeling burnout.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's causing it? Is it I don't know. You mean I don't even
Yeah.
know. Maybe just like, bro, I'm just at a time in my life.
I can only speak to my experience as an athlete, not a coach, not a PT, but like it doesn't matter what's on the board. There's like something else that I just have a shitty attitude about recently. And in my opinion, in like regards to like that topic, I think it's less relevant or less indicative of like what is actually programmed, and it's more about like what is this person's experience, and
Gotcha. So you think it's more external than it is in the actual gym?
Yeah, because like
walls.
when I'm not working out, like I'm generally a little bit more anxious, a little bit more snappier with people I love, and like that's no good for anybody.
Right.
So
Same, brother.
Yeah.
and then I do like my first workout. I worked out this morning for the first time in like 5 days, and was like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm
Needed
back.
that.
I'm back here. Yeah, like I'm good again.
Yeah.
So
My mind goes to different routes. One is I know when I'm super stressed with life, I have about 1 day a week where I try to give myself permission to be completely on the ground dying.
yeah,
It's like during the open workout this past Friday. If I'm super stressed with work, with life, whatever it is, if I do that 5 days a week, I'm going to be cooked and I'm going to become an asshole to the people around me.
So I'm the opposite. If I don't bury
it's
myself in
free
the ground, I
for-
become an
but
asshole.
I feel great.
I feel
It's
like I
weird.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, I feel great, but at the same time, I can
Weird.
tell the 23 remaining hours I am a little bit less
Yeah.
resistant to stress that comes on.
Gotcha.
But another route I want to go to about you saying people talking about burnout, I think another reason too is because there's so many more options of fitness now. When CrossFit first started, everybody, if they worked out, you just assumed they went to the gym and did some form of push, pull, legs, whatever it might have been.
Or bodybuilding
Yeah.
of some kind. Right.
CrossFit was kind of the first, in my opinion, the first curveball before anything close to it. People were doing Tyvo and P90X in their living room.
Yep.
And that was the only
Insanity.
insane. Exactly. And CrossFit kind of gave people, it did give people permission to explore different outlets.
yeah.
And now, think about how many different outlets there are just for CrossFit. You can do a 7-day free trial with so many different subscriptions of CrossFit. And for example, with Mayhem, if I'm not mistaken, they have like 12 different routes. Mayhem
Tracks,
bodybuilding,
HWPO,
same
HWPO has HWPO golf, minimal. There's so many different options now within CrossFit, and now you have high rocks. Now you have the possibilities are endless at this point. But that's kind of where my mind goes at.
So do you think, so we can kind of fade into another topic-ish, but do you think that it's not necessarily, let's say that all the other things kind of go away, the high rocks, all those other avenues where it's just CrossFit, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, right? That's your kind of avenue, spin, running. Do you think that the burnout aspect of people quitting and going to try other things, do you think there'd be a lot less? Just, do you think it's more of like a more options avenue? People are like, well, I've been doing this for a year and a half. I think I want to go give this a shot.
Along to Houston's point, do you think it's because CrossFitters aren't really good at any one thing, and we're pretty good at everything?
That's what I'm kind of getting
but
at.
we have, like, you stretch into doing a high rocks, or you stretch into doing something. You're like, oh, if I just focus on this one thing. So, but to do that, you almost have to, you take away from doing CrossFit.
Right. Because I'll say for myself personally, like over the years, I mean, I've been doing CrossFit consistently now for 15 plus years, just CrossFit. Didn't play sports beforehand, so I have no others. But I find myself getting in the burnout stage where I'm just like, man, if I go and do another just straight Metcon, I don't know if I want to. So I'll just like change my focus. I'll just focus more on weightlifting. You know what I mean? Like instead of just doing a heavy single clean, then I'm going to do some like drop sets and then some clean pulls and then more Olympic weightlifting, eccentric, and then I hit my Metcon, right? I'm able to be like, okay, cool. My focus today was lift heavy as hell. And then it got to the point where it was like, man, my running is garbage. I'm just going to kind of change that focus to where I'm doing a lot more running. I'm going to Metcon 2 to 4 times a week, but I'm also going to run 2 to 3 times a week. Or the last one would be gymnastics, you know what I mean? Like spend more time doing high. So that's what I've done personally to keep myself like excited. Do you think that that's kind of what people are doing today, but it's just now it's more like high rocks?
It's funny you bring that up because I think it sounds like you've been on the same program, whether it's yours or Tommy's. Like if we're super consistent on programming, someone doing it.
Yeah.
How many times have we changed programming over the 10 years we've been working out together?
A lot.
Like 8. Like I feel like it's been because we were in house. We went to comp train, then we went to Mayhem, compete. Then we were adjusting for the gym. Then we went to me. Then we went to Proven. They went to H2PO, so like legitimately like 7 different tracks.
Yeah. I will say, like I've done a lot of different programs,
right? But
but over 15 years,
right? And like just from a member aspect, like every time we'd swap, there's always opinions and pushback. But then you get this
really
like,
know, honestly.
No, but knowing that no one really ever like has a ton of like.
Dude, what's weird is every time I change program, people go, is somebody doing something different?" Like,
people know.
Like,
there was a lot of times that we just like. There were a couple times we just wouldn't tell people.
Just switch.
And they'd be like, "Oh man, something's different." I'm like, people could tell. But it's like, for me, like having just a different focus. When I started here, like it got more fun, even though it was just different workouts.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think that changing like that,
100%,
would keep people more excited?
100. Like, well, even just from the standpoint of like, because again, what is burnout? Burnout ends up coming from like external factors that are pushing you from something that you know you need to do, you know you love, but it's inconvenient. You'd rather be doing something, or not rather be, but it's just easier if you don't.
Or is it that you go to do something, you don't do as well as you expected, and
Both.
now you're like, oh, it must be programming.
Yeah, you have these external
I feel
factors.
like most people who do programming are pretty good, and you could argue
Do you mean
that.
right or
Most.
or do class? What do you mean
right.
by do
Most people
program?
who write programming, if you followed it, it's broken down enough to where intensity matters more than anything. Like everyone knows that.
Yeah.
If you did 7 minutes of burpees every day for 2 months, you'd get really fit. It would be boring.
That's kind of what
but
I'm
you
saying.
go to do something, you don't do as well as you think, and what can you tie it back to that's not taking the blame on you?
Right.
It's the programming must suck, better switch.
Right. Well, that's so you've got external factors that are like pulling you this way, and your escape is now not as much fun because you're not doing as well as you think you should, and now you've got something else to go and focus on. Like, well, I've swapped programs, or I'm now focusing on Olympic, or I'm doing something else. Yeah. That now it's not my fault. Now I'm just going to hone in on this thing, and that's going to get better once you focus on that long enough. Like, people just need change.
I'll tell you what's interesting is we're talking about performance, right? That's the base. But why did we all start working out? I mean, outside of sports, it's to look good, right? It's to lose body fat, to gain muscle, to try to, whatever. So it is for me personally, we did the open workout. And in my mind, I did not do as well as I wanted to, because for me I felt like I paced it wrong, broke it up wrong, whatever. And we went to eat Friday night at this Mexican restaurant up the road, and me and Britt tend to frequent a place long enough that I get to know the owners, get to know the waiters, or where people be like, oh yeah, your wife's over there. They just we go enough, and I'm loud and I talk to everybody. This waiter, he always talks to us, and he's I think he's from Venezuela or something, and he's been here for 30 years or something. But he's like, man, you guys just look so good. He's like, man, I just wished I looked like y'all. Kind of
Come to the
conversation.
gym.
And I'm like, in my back of my head, I'm just like, yeah, we've told him many times, dude, come up right up the road.
We'll give you a free week.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
try us out.
Come on,
Yeah.
you can do this too. But it just it brought me back to oh yeah, why do I do this? My resting heart rate's in the 40s. Anytime I go to the hospital, they're just like, dude, you're not the norm, which is great, because they're like, do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you no, and I don't do any of this stuff, and I'll focus on health, and I try to eat as well as I can. And anyway, it's just oh yeah, that's why we do this, is for that. And I'd say probably I hate to say it this big of a number, but 80% of our gym checks those boxes. You know what I mean? But since, to your point, I don't do as well as I think I should, it's the programming. We really do. Do you think that CrossFit has put too much emphasis on performance because we're trying to move the needle? Everything's test, retest.
Do you think that's CrossFit, or do you think it's the people who are attracted to CrossFit?
Both, actually. I hate to say that, but yes, both.
I think I'm going on your side of that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's only how many people have you seen roll into the gym?
Yeah, it's a certain type of person that
And-
does CrossFit and sticks with CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A type A or I'm not type A. So.
But whether it's either,
But that's
whether
what
it's
they say.
people that are attracted to it, or the idea of being that kind of person is attractive, or CrossFit is put more emphasis on it,
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's why I said both. Because CrossFit top down is who was I talking to? I was talking to Chris.
the games are test retest. CrossFit itself,
And that's what I was going to say. I don't
Everything
think-
is test retest.
Yeah,
Hiller
Constant.
brought up something on his video. He goes, if you're not timing your workouts, technically you're doing CrossFit.
And I think something that
No,
we do,
because everything's write it down, retest it in 6 months or whatever.
and I think something that we do is we want to be competitive.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think CrossFit as a methodology is more along. You should only be looking at yourself in the mirror. Don't look at everyone else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're how
But come work out with a group, because that's what makes it fun.
How have we over the last 20 years now? We've never been able to separate the sport from the methodology.
Right.
It just outside looking in. You look at CrossFit, everyone sees the games.
Right.
Everyone wants to go to the games. Everyone wants to do that.
I
But
think it's just because it's the tip of the spear. If I'm running marathons and I look at the top runners in the world, I'm like, man, if I'm playing pickup basketball and I'm watching the NBA, I think that's just how we are as human beings.
Chasing perfection.
Which is interesting because some people will see, I have people come in all the time and they see, I remember you told me one time, and Britt thought you were being serious, you need to teach people how to not do ring muscle ups because we have too many people
yeah, it's crazy.
in our class that was doing ring muscle ups in a workout because we ran out of rings.
Yeah, we just traveled to Australia. Kenzie and I dropped into 6 gyms, and
6.
yeah,
Wow.
dropped into because we traveled a bunch.
How many did Cap?
No, we dropped into 6
All of
gyms,
them.
and Ken's and I fit
5 heavy days
top,
in a row.
We're top 10% of the open. We're fit, but at each of the gyms we were 1 and 2 on all the workouts.
Oh, wow.
And then you come back here and 4 people beat me in the open.
You're right.
Yeah, I had a member 5 months ago, travels a lot. You'd know him. I mean, just for the sake, I'm not going to say his name, but he's like, I do a lot of traveling.
Say his name.
Jared.
That's what I figured
you
it
know
was
Jared.
Jared, yeah.
He goes, I'm when I finish a workout here, I'm mediocre at best, but then I
Crop top,
travel.
Jared?
Yeah, crop top, Jared. Yeah.
Love
I
Jared.
travel,
don't
he
think
does
he's
a bunch of traveling. And he's like, I'm 1 or 2
No,
everywhere.
I've heard
which
that
is-
so many times. I remember I've had so many people move, and they're like, dude, I'm middle of the pack, maybe. They're like, I'm fighting for my life to not get last. And they're like, I go to this new gym, and I'm first on everything.
Yeah.
I think that is all, in addition to what you were saying, is
I think that's indicative to our gym, but regardless.
But I think the people that want to be at those kinds of gyms go to those kinds of gyms, because there are other gyms just down the road from here
Mhm.
that's not the case.
And
That
do
it's a
you-
cool place to work out and a great community, but it's
Yeah.
just not as
My question, I was going to go ahead.
No, I'm going to jump in really quick. So the past we'll say 8 to 10 years, I've lived in 4 to 5 different states, and every time I do the same thing. I do a trial at the CrossFit gyms in the area. And you and I were talking about this before. It's like, yes, CrossFit's super fun, blah, blah, blah. But what keeps me a lot of times is the community aspect of like, dude, if I go to a CrossFit gym, chances are there's going to be multiple people there that I would want to hang out with on the weekend, and they're going to want to do mountain biking, whatever it is, similar interests. However, I went to 2 other gyms here before I came to this one, and I thought, do what?
Yeah, what's the good?
Say the names.
Say them.
And I went to
Bye,
one,
bye.
and I
Probably
bought a punch bag. Like, oh, this place is rad. They're like all about community. I hadn't came here yet, and I was like, that's super dope. I was like, there's one more, you guys. And came here, and I was like, all right, they have community, but they have also this just competition vibe. I don't know how to I don't know how to say it, but the community's strong. There's also a competition. I was like, I'm coming here.
Oh, sick.
And I have no desire in competing anymore.
You know what's interesting is like,
Yeah, but I don't want to lose to Madison.
Yeah, don't.
But I was like, there's place has the community,
Especially on a
with
burpee
the
workout.
competition.
Screw you, Chris. Piece of shit.
I just want to
Try real hard, all right?
2% within you guys.
Dude, what hurts is when Caleb goes, me and you're on the same level of fitness. I'm like, oh.
I said that the other day, I was like, "That's- you just got to realize that you and I are like at the same level now. These other guys are fitting." He goes, "Oh man."
Dang it.
I wish I could have 50% of your strength, but you're like, I haven't worked out in 2 weeks.
I
I'm like,
can
I've
say
killed
that.
myself every day.
Yeah, I can say that because I will.
Yeah, I just thought it was
always be
funny.
up. Just so I got my strength. That's it.
But so here's like, as a gym, I don't preach competitiveness.
No.
Not one time am I like, look at your partner next to you and beat them, right? But if you watch me work out, the whole time I'm watching everybody else. Where are you at? What pace are you on? How many strokes are you doing? You've done 5 reps. I'm on 4. I'm going to catch you. Right. That's what's going on in my head. But I don't verbalize any of that. The biggest thing I do verbalize is I don't care how much you do. I just care how hard you try.
Effort, man.
And do you think that that's what it is? It's because I feel like I preach effort more than anything. Do you think that that would create a competitive environment, or do you think that that's just the people that have been attracted to our gym?
You're asking him.
That
but
I don't know. I'm asking in general.
I mean,
As a coach, as a
I think
just
it's
a member.
having someone like Brandon to chase. You're like, oh, I know that's possible. Someone else can do it.
That's a high ceiling.
Yeah.
So there's a little side tangent story. I was meeting with this guy that he was one of the guys that trained the 300 people at Jim Jones. You know, he trained like Henry Cavill, all those guys. And we were doing like a little just sit down at a dinner table in California with Tommy and this guy that ran CrossFit LA, and then that guy that so we're all just talking, and he told me he was traveling around the US, and he dropped into a different gym basically every week. That was his goal for a year, was to drop into a different gym. He was in like BFE, Wisconsin, and he walked in and they were like doing deadlifts, and he was like, the minimum, like the median weight for women of a deadlift was like 315.
It's insane.
And he was like, what are you doing here? The guy goes, what are you talking about? It's in the middle of nowhere, like Wisconsin. So there was no like here, like I know other gyms, to see social media posts, right? We're all kind of connected, kind of not, but I kind of have an idea, right? We go do competitions. I see, well, it's BFE. And he was like, well, I did powerlifting. And he goes, my 100 deadlift was 900 pounds. So I was like, well, girls typically lift 80%, 135, 95, whatever that percentage is. I think it's like 78 or 80%. So he's like, well, what's 80% of 900? So that should be what the top girls lift, and the other girls should lift something. He goes, you just set the ceiling so high that this was what was normal. Do you think that that's kind of what it is here at the gym? Like, oh, we're doing butterfly pull-ups. Oh, there's 30 people in here. 14 of them are doing butterfly pull-ups, or even 20. Is that what I need to learn? Do you think it's more of like that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Something that is nice to see is even people here that follow their own competitive track, they're still wanting to jump in with class.
Like,
Hey,
There's nothing to say. That's done with class.
Who's
'cause
that?
I'm thinking of one person that
I'm
does their own
still-
competitive
I'm-
and does not ever jump into
yeah,
class.
I'm still learning names. So
Okay.
it's not, but
Okay.
I think
You
like
don't have
two people that I see
So I'll write extra competitors programming. So I'm
Yeah,
wondering if they're doing
that
something
just
like
do
that.
like I think one's doing Think Tank and then another one's doing eMomCo, and they'll.
Gotcha.
It was last Friday I came in and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take class because it looked fun and I wanted to,
Right.
and both of them jumped in because they thought it looked fun and wanted to.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
like, maybe that's why. I don't know.
to your point, I don't think gyms, CrossFit gyms, the ones that have been here the longest, are successful because they're more competitive, or because I think it's just the culture that is at that gym,
Gotcha.
Mhm.
and then you attract the people
Totally.
that want to go to that gym. Just like there are people that, I mean,
That want to go to a gym that, yeah.
I'll say it because it was like the point. Dan Adamson at the point,
Mm-hmm.
like he crushed having, like, just go work out for your hour and socialize and like that's it. Like that was why he had a ton of members that would never leave him because that was his vibe at the gym.
Gotcha.
Sure, he had some competitive people that would come in and out because you always will, but like they were like diehard loyal to that place because of that, right? You would if you also swap to that here, you probably lose a ton of the really competitive people because that's not the vibe here. And that's not to say like one's better
Right,
than the other.
right.
I
That's
think
just what it is.
you start to attract the people that want that.
That's how our gym used to be over at Sugar House before we moved into this space, to be honest, was that. Because we didn't have space. It was a 2,000 square foot gym. And that included, bathrooms of the front desk,
tiny.
all the equipment. I didn't have it near this much, but
But
that
I mean,
included storage. But that was what it was. You had 1 hour, see you later. One person might go to the other side and do some pull-ups.
Sure, and I'm not even talking about extra programming.
Right.
Though. I'm just saying, like, I'll bet you still had a similar vibe at the Sugar House
The
location.
competitive aspect, yes.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
like you start to attract the people,
Yeah.
and a lot of that bleeds over into the programming, or the programming's there because the people are there because you program for the pay. Like it's the chicken and the egg. Like
Right,
one doesn't
right,
come
right, right,
first.
Mm.
Like you program for your people, or the people are there because of the programming, or they're there because the community, or the community's there because they're there because other. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just. It is.
It
just
is interesting because, like, when we get people that drop in, they say things like, "Man, this class is there. I've not been. There are like 30 people are in this class, or 20 people, and they're like, this is insane because like it's consistently that big." Do you think that it's just we have just attracted that type of person? The reason I bring this up is because like anybody that runs a gym or coaches another gym or anything happens to listen to this podcast, like they're going to get a nugget out of it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think that like makes our gym different? And I'm not trying to get you to like talk me up, make my head bigger, nothing like that. Like I genuinely don't like. I feel like I'm a jackass, just kind of making it up as I go, and it just seems just I'm throwing shit at the wall, and it seems to stick and work.
It's good to
And I'm
have
taking a
list of nice
guess.
things about Madison.
Yeah, but no, yeah. Can you please tell me how good I am? But no, that's what I'm wondering is like what makes the gym. I mean, there's other gyms. I mean, you have Mayhem, they're gigantic, and I only know because whatever. But like I see other gyms in the area I follow post videos, and it's like big class today, and it's like 6 people at their 6:30 a.m. And I'm like, that was my small class had more people than that. Like maybe it's just our location, our equipment, our gym.
It's all of it. I mean, I
Yeah,
stayed because it's
factors, but I don't think they're.
I stayed because it's competitive
Yeah,
Right. And I came.
and programming was good.
I
Yeah.
came because Josh came, but even before that, I was like, what are the gyms in the
This-
valley that have the. Right, what are the gyms in the valley that would have the vibe that I want to go.
gotcha. And this
Would be
is
worth
kinda
a
check the
drive, or
box.
would be worth going, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is the one. And like, my brain thinks, old school CrossFit, but old school CrossFit, funny enough, like you start talking about where CAP is now and how it doesn't work now. Old school CrossFit was CAP, but it was literally just like, let's just be better. Let's just try to be better.
Right. And kind of bringing it back
That's
full
still
circle
there.
about programming is like like you said, CAP doesn't work. Like people aren't following that. It's like
Right.
as a new coach, cool, you're breaking this down and making it easier for me. And then I get a certain point where it's like I need to have some autonomy. But telling me to run my class to the T of the minute.
I think before we say CAP doesn't work, CAP worked for a really long time.
No, that's what I was gonna say was like it's just like the old school CrossFit, like he was saying. Like I feel like that's what it is, but it's like it hasn't moved
The
like
evolution of
And maybe
CAP
it's-
with what the demand of consumers want. I think consumers want a strength piece and a Metcon. Like
Yeah.
that's where I think we're at.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the days of like an hour of a 5-1-1-1-1-1 back squat. Like
or like a Fran.
yeah,
But it also comes back to the perception of what we think we want.
Sure.
We think we need to sweat. We think we
be
need
dying
to burn
like,
calories.
Yeah,
But you may not with the programming is good enough if you're doing that 4 days a week and then your off day is a 5x5 back squat. I mean, you do a true 5x5
at 80%. Like you're
at
working.
85%.
Yep.
That shit is hard.
Yeah, that's coming up. You're ready.
We just did it at 85%. It was
The
terrible.
3x10 at 75%.
Good luck
Yeah.
this week.
Better not be tomorrow.
I would question-
Better not be tomorrow.
I
No, it's-
would question
Definitely
percentages. Trust me, 3x10 and
He was like,
75%.
"You're good, my dad."
That math doesn't check out, but we're doing
No,
it.
So
Wednesday.
it's like And then it comes back to
Good luck.
intensity. Is your coach like? Is the coach standing up there watching all your members, being like, "Hey, that 5x5, you didn't struggle. You're not getting out of it what you should be getting out of it. Like, obviously, it needs to be harder.
Right.
Challenging people to
So do you
work
think
harder."
it kind of like the vibe is not necessarily the gym? Do you think it's just because of the, like, not just because, but do you think it's because of the coaches? Because I feel like all of us actually give a shit.
It helps.
You know, when you see someone moving, they're like, that was really hard. And it's like, dude, are you kidding me? You didn't even struggle. Like, I feel like I have that conversation with people a lot. And I've seen Chris, see you, Josh, see you, Caleb, kind of like belittle people in a positive way.
That was really bad. Let's try it like this.
Yeah. That's a Caleb coaching technique. That was not good. Do it again.
Try it again, but
Better.
But try better.
Do you
Try
think it's
harder.
like the coaching aspect is just coming top down to create the space? You know what I mean?
Again, is it the coaching aspect, or is it because the right people are in here that can be coached that way? Because there's absolutely people that cannot be coached that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Every
They shut
single
off and go
CrossFit
home.
gym. Every single
Yeah,
gym.
'cause you've coached at how many
Right.
gyms now?
5. This is my
5?
5th one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, like, I'd say yes, but is it here because the right people are here, or the right people here because it's here?
True. Chicken to the egg.
Yeah.
Next thing would be like, I'd say like GPP volume, you know, like going into it, like do you think that it is too much? I mean, we kind of touched on this of the like, because if you look at a competitor's program or even just like a weekend warrior program, it's going to be more than just like the CrossFit stuff. Do you think that it is sustainable? I mean, for me personally,
To add stuff to class?
well, just doing like how we, just like, sometimes you're like, dude, you filled this hour so full. And I'm like, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I don't. For me personally, whenever you look at the L1 programming, you have like low reps, medium reps, high reps, right? We talked about wall balls earlier before we started the podcast. It was like 150 wall balls is a lot. We did 200 plus in this open workout if you finished it, or even got into the last few rounds. Do you think that those numbers are still applicable to where it's like low rep? For me, if I don't hit, say, 50 to 70 pull-ups in a workout, like not in a row, but if I don't hit around that, I feel like I get zero adaptation. Like I'm just doing those, like it's just like doing sit-ups. It's a rest at this point.
Yeah, I mean the baseline, I think for everyone that has done CrossFit at the sport level, GPP is much higher. So
Then
it's
getting
like
someone in new. So that was a statement that was said on a podcast I was listening to recently. I brought up with you was we scale weight, we scale movement range of motion, but we don't really scale reps. Do you think that the volume it's obviously increased overall? Like if we do 100 pull-ups in a workout, or you know, it's like the workout starts with 50 burpees, you're just kind of like, all right, whatever, that sucks, I'll get through it.
What?
But do you?
When you say we don't scale reps,
So how many times do you have a workout that has, say, 30, 20, 10 of toes to bar, power cleans that are really lightweight, and box jumps? Do you go, hey, you're 2 weeks in, let's do 20, 15, 10, or 20?
this is
10,
a
5.
Ute thing.
What?
I think that is a Ute thing. That's something that you guys don't do here.
And that's what I was going to ask. Is that a me
I do
thing?
that.
Yeah.
I do that.
Okay.
And
I think it comes
I
from-
try when I remember and I see someone doing it. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that
I
many
think it
reps.
starts for
We
you
did that
But
guys.
it's
last
very low totem.
Handstand
Yeah, but I
push-ups.
think it starts for you guys because you don't do time caps or goals or goal times on your workouts.
Right.
So why would you scale the reps? Because like the idea, your principle is you're working on your volume, no matter if it takes 15 minutes or 18 minutes.
Gotcha.
The volume play lets you come into the
Do you
intensity.
think that was, so I have gotten good feedback from Caleb's coaching because they're like, he gives goals. If you can't finish this in a minute and a half, maybe we scale the reps
Right.
back. Do you, or even time caps? Like,
I mean, it's
time caps are hard, and I'll go that in a second. But do you think that that is more beneficial as a gym to have
Thinking
time caps, to have?
overdo it both ways.
Okay.
yeah.
It comes down to coaching, right? So like the idea of GPP volume and like scaling it by person, because like there's doing 21 handstand push-ups with 2 ab mats versus 9 handstand push-ups to the RX standard, like that's person to person on whether they decide what their scale is going to be. And it comes down to like what you want. I know you don't like the word stimulus in a workout, but like what
It's
you
just
want the stimulus.
That word is just overused in my
Or
mind,
what
but
you want the
regardless.
purpose of the work, we use that one,
Mhm.
the purpose to be for
need
that
stimulus.
Metcon piece, right?
Mhm.
Like, and that's where that comes down to is like giving people goals or giving people time caps.
Mhm.
It can be overdone if you just are slapping a hard time cap on it.
Gotcha.
And like, it is a cop out. It is,
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was. Someone's like, time caps are a crutch. Well, they can be unless you're like actually having a conversation of like, look,
It's
30 wall balls takes you a minute.
Well,
If you go on this way.
26.1 is the perfect example of it, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, 3 people in the gym who went through and finished the workout, and it took them 20
20 plus
minutes or
minutes,
whatever
right?
it
It's
took.
the application of intensity, I think. Where
Right.
there's a disconnect between coaching and member, or like community and like.
Yeah. What's your goal? Are you doing CrossFit just to look better? Yeah, go for it. Just burn
Cool.
calories.
I'll leave the clock running. You can finish in the
volume for
corner,
volume's sake
but
is
like,
still working out. It's still better than nothing.
right.
But if the purpose is to improve, and you get the people that are like, well, I don't want to scale because I don't want to scale, even though like going heavier is a scale. So like
They're scaling up or
you're scaling up or down, right? Like it's just different verbiage of it. Like I don't want to scale, so I'm just gonna finish the whole thing, or I'm like still gonna put RX. It just took me 25 minutes. You did a different workout entirely. Like
Yeah.
Right.
workout over 20 minutes in the stimulant, like for intensity, is way different than like
10 to
I'm
12.
gonna go 10 minutes, but 12 minutes of that.
Do you
If I
think
stretch
that-
that over 20 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna be way more sore the next day because I did 200 reps of wall balls. So like,
Right.
it's a different attack
Speed
entirely.
of contraction, quality.
So
like, it's all-
for about a year and a half, we did time caps. I followed Jump Ship, which was good, but it just didn't work for our gym because we had too much crap and they didn't program for all the stuff we have. But we did time caps, and I honestly felt like it did more harm than good. And I don't mean it like you hurt yourself. I just mean like a mental aspect of just like defeat. Dude, I haven't finished. I have hit the time cap the last 2 weeks in a row. And then we had people that I would stop the clock and turn it off, and they would be like, I'm just going to finish it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you're
We
supposed to be
battled
done in
that
12
for
minutes. It's now
years.
22 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then now you have this kind of like awkward, like, do I talk to you, instead of kind of like, to your point, giving a goal and then being like, hey, you guys should be done around 15 to 18 minutes.
I think something
Right.
that we did when we programmed a goal, and then we'd typically put the time cap a couple minutes behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you normally shoot, like, I would love for the median to be around 12 minutes. I'm going to make a time cap of 15, right?
Well,
So,
a goal,
right.
time cap and a goal can be the same thing.
Right.
If you want a time cap's there for class. If
Right.
I'm time capping this workout at 15 minutes, that like I know classroom management side, I know I need to leave a 15-minute block at the very least because we're done, starting the next class, you're out of here 15 minutes, right? But then like if the goal is 15 minutes, it can still be the same thing, but then the conversations are the same either way, whether if a time cap or a time cap being a goal, you're still trying to get the work done within that time.
Right.
It's the same conversation. Like, hey, the goal is 12 minutes. Get this all done by 12 minutes. Taking this long. Presley walks up. I finished in 4.
Right.
Well, we got to do probably maybe a 20-pound wall ball next time
Yeah.
because you're in a different.
increase your
That is
intensity
a
of
scale,
something.
right? But that
Yeah.
still is going to hit into that same
Right.
purpose of the workout,
Yeah.
hitting that kind of volume.
I had a thought and I just completely forgot it.
And it was saying that time caps and goals are important for progression because it forces intensity.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're doing Randy, and
75 snatches for time at
Yeah.
75, 55.
75 snatches for time, but it's going to take you 20 minutes.
Right.
Why not do it with 45?
Right.
I also want to jump in. I think the time caps also are a huge opportunity for the member just to learn about themselves because we use the example of back squats. Let's say it's 5x5 at 80%, just pulling those numbers out of the air. And they're like, hey, if you don't know what 80% of your max is, no worries. Just do like an 8 out of 10 RPE. They still won't know what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I use that conversation.
Exactly. We
every
all
single
do it.
time
We
we
all
talk
do
about
it. So
percentage.
in my opinion, the time gap is just another way of them being able to essentially self-regulate intensity for
Yeah,
themselves,
that's a
which
good
I
way to
think would
put
be the
it.
goal.
Self-regulate.
Right.
Do
Totally.
you think that that's a problem with group fitness versus individual programming?
I don't think it's a
Not necessarily a problem.
No,
you know what
I don't.
mean? Like,
No, it's a
negatives.
good point. I don't think it's a problem, but again, I'm a fan of the time cap. The same way
Think
I'd
it's
be
more
a fan
potent
of
in the group
RPE.
setting
Totally,
than
because like if this is
individually.
another way for you to learn what hard is for you. It's like, oh man, I didn't beat the time cap for the 3rd time this week. Okay, it's like, okay, let's take a step back. Is that from the coach's error and prescription, or is that you still learning how to gauge coming out too hot? Is that you still
So,
learning how to gauge what intensity is?
Do you think, so this kind of goes into the next conversation I want to fade into, but do you think that that's where like places like Orange Theory get it right? And I don't mean like that's the correct fitness and let's do that instead of CrossFit, but the aspect, point to Josh because his wife is a manager of an Orange Theory and they go there often. Do you like the chest strap, the watching your heart rate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny as I'll be watching some athletes, like I'm standing there and they're just breathing, and I'm like, what are you doing? You look like Chris right now, just completely. And they're like, well, I'm just waiting for my heart rate to come down. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you even at? And they show me their watch and it's like 2:02. Like, how in the, what? Yeah, Jesus, let it come down, you know? And they're just like, okay, it's at 190. I'll keep working. I'm like, how are you even at 185? I'm like drooling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, doing my stupid breathing.
To that point, though, like,
But do you think that the other avenues of fitness are able to do that? Go ahead.
well, I'm saying like that time cap or a goal or whatever you want to call it, purpose of the workout, RPE, is the same as a chest strap.
Feedback.
Shoot for this. It's just feedback of like, I wrote this workout. This is why I wrote it. This is how it should feel today.
Totally.
That's the only thing I can control is what I tell you where you're going to go to, because like I'm not in your body. Seeing
Got a
what
question.
kind of like
On that, do you think it's the wording of this last workout? And I hate how they do this, but I'll explain what I mean. Do you think it's the wording of the workout that made people want to finish it? So like
It was a carrot.
it says for time
Yeah.
with a 12-minute cap, right? But if it said 12-minute AMRAP, you know, obviously you can't AMRAP that. You eventually hit a point. But like ascending reps, like, you know, it gain 10 every time and you stop at 12 minutes, right? That makes people go, oh, it's at 12 minutes and I got this far. Cool, I'm done. They don't go, well, I'm just going to finish the workout. And it's like, well, it's at ascending reps. It's never going to end.
Yeah.
You think that it's the wording of the workout that made people go, well, I want to finish this workout?
If you wrote this one,
Mm-hmm.
and this one wasn't written for an international stage with literal games athletes all the way down to people who had like do
Correct.
their first open,
Correct.
yes, it's a problem because like that's way over programmed for our gym.
Yeah, to go for time with no time.
But
cap. Yeah.
also, just kidding. If you program for your fittest, and Presley did finish,
Yeah.
that actually that
Yeah.
doesn't work. But you get what I'm saying,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But like, yes, people are going to look at it. But I think there's also this kind of like feeling with the open that like I know I'm not going to finish 4 times. If I'm finishing like within a good time 4 time workouts within the open, something's wrong.
Right.
Because like again,
See,
like, once
he
I
says
did,
stuff like that and then goes, we're on the same level of fitness.
you know what I mean with
Cool.
this, though,
Cool,
right?
man.
You know what I mean with this because this is literally like or the one from last year with the thrusters and the bar muscle
Yep.
with like the 135 thrusters, like that one had a time cap that is finishable. A lot of people finished, but like then you compare yourself to like, well, I got 15 minutes on that, but like the games people got like 7 minutes or
Right,
whatever,
right.
right? Like there's the difference. So
Right.
like, yeah, the wording of it is the carrot that makes like, but also there's almost the assumption of like, I'm going to get as far as I can. Cause then you watch those fittest guys do it and they're like right up to the time cap.
Right.
I think people overestimate volume and underestimate intensity
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the big problem.
I stand on that hill till I die. Like application of intensity. Like the older I get, I'm not trying to do more. Like volume wise, it's like I need to do more intensity,
Right.
and I'm more
And I
fit now
should
than I was 15
clarify.
years ago.
Yeah.
Josh was there 10 years ago when we started working out, doing CrossFit, or close enough. Like, we've not always been good at intensity versus volume.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just need to do
Yeah,
volume.
I
We
mean, you
literally
got
would
to
be
not
there
do it
for-
right. To
I would say in
Like
those days,
multiple
though, like
Metcons going slow as shit
2014
at
to
the end,
2016 was all about volume.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was just junk volume, right? You're moving for an hour, but it's cool. You did zone 3. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, because you're exhausted.
Metcon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing Metcon after Metcon. You
There was
can't-
literally, and this was early days before Josh, like before he even came around, was I had a buddy at the gym that we would just, for whatever reason, would make every workout harder. It was like push-ups, pull-ups, and then like wall balls, I think was what it was. We're like, well, let's make it heavier into a 30-pound wall ball. Let's do handstand push-ups, and then let's do bar muscle-ups. We were there like 30 minutes later. The coach walks up like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, well, we're making it harder because it was too easy. Like, obviously you're
Okay.
not making it
And
any
that
harder.
Tommy
Obviously,
Hackenberg
if
said
you're
a long
doing
time
like
ago, you don't need harder workouts. You need to go harder in your workouts.
Exactly.
And that's what he used to say,
yeah.
you know.
It didn't help. I did a few more years of that.
Oh,
But
yeah,
like,
obviously, we all do. I remember those days. But do you think that do you think that CrossFit could take stuff from other avenues, like with Orange Theory, to where we get an extra screen up there and I have the heart rate monitors, and we do something like that? The High Rocks thing, to where it's kind of like we're going to repeat the same workout more often, so you can see, because it's like, all right, I want you to be done in 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, it took me 18 minutes. I missed the stimulus. I missed the intensity aspect, but we're repeating it next week. I'll know to change then. Because that one's a constant. It's the same thing. You just keep repeating it and you're training for the same thing. Do you think that those avenues of fitness, we should be looking at that rather than being like, they're all dumb and less than CrossFit?
I think we'll talk about wearables, because wearables have been a big boom the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Everyone has a Whoop or I've had them both, no shame.
Same.
I think wearables, I work out with a chest strap, no shame.
Same.
I think they're awesome for
Wow.
education, but not to the point where they take away self-awareness. So an example is at the ski team, we had a lot of athletes that started wearing Whoop, and at the day of competition, they would wake up and be like, oh shit,
Red.
I'm red today.
I'm in
but
the red.
But I feel
So now
great.
it's more mental as
So it's
opposed
like,
to
bro,
physical.
what do you mean? You're gonna let that determine how you're gonna perform today, right? And so it's a double-edged sword. And then we'd have a coach where athletes, he could not get them to stay in aerobic state with their conditioning, so he would duct tape their mouth. Like, hey, you're gonna stay on this stationary
I would
bike
die.
for 60,
I can't breathe through my nose.
for 60 minutes. And
Probably work, though.
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
But it
regulate
also
intensity.
it brings awareness to it. And again, I
Imagine
personally
doing it
like
to us for a
wearing
beard.
the chest strap when I work out, just to kind of make the connection. But for it to, I think of something like Orange Theory. Yes, it brings education about themselves and their own awareness to the client. But I would argue that it's almost so far in the end of the spectrum where they become too self-reliant on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you're leaning
Like,
on it.
I-
I,
it would
didn't
be
get
a
this much heart rate.
Like I didn't stay enough in this zone or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. With here, I think it would be, I think about the interval class.
Mhm.
One of my favorite classes you guys have. It's so dope.
That's fun.
That would be a dope class to have something like a chest strap, because it's something totally different. But to have everyone have a chest strap for a Metcon, it's like, dude, we're starting
Funny you
I think,
said
to
that,
lose
because when
the
I had
focus.
I used Whoop for a couple of years, but I like when I got to Red, I'm like, this is my hour a day. I'm gonna work out.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm gonna,
Bring
I'm
us,
gonna
give me
do it
crap.
whatever.
Or
I
how
don't
many
give a
times?
shit.
How many we
Or the
after
opposite.
I took like
Deep green, you do crap.
I did CrossFit for a couple of years back in the Outlaw Way days, if you guys remember
Oh,
that. But then
For-
switched over
for
to Olympic
programming.
weightlifting. Yeah, switched over to Olympic weightlifting, and to this day we had a saying where it was along the lines of like, if you feel like shit the day you come to the gym, chances are something magical is going to happen, and it
Mhm.
never fails. The days I felt the worst is when some type of PR would come through.
Yep.
But the same
I'm
with
gonna finish the workout tomorrow.
same.
Yeah.
I think about it with Whoop though. It's like, dude, there's been times where with my Aura ring, or even when I had a Whoop strap, I'm like, man, I'm red today. I feel like shit. Then I'd go to the gym, like, I feel really fucking good today.
Yeah.
Right.
And other days
Yeah.
where it was
But I mean,
green,
like,
and I felt like I
to
felt
your
terrible.
point, there's days where like, man, I felt that was an awesome workout. I got crushed, and I look at Whoop and like, oh, that was a 7.2 strain out of 21. Like, all right, F me. Like,
Yeah, totally.
today's strain was
Yeah, the
11.
accuracy
all right, I'm
with
going
that.
great.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah,
I did
totally.
great
You're playing
today.
traffic.
Yeah,
Great.
there's so many routes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more on their algorithm for
Yeah.
a while. But
So do you think a lot of those places are? I mean, we keep bringing up the wearables because I know that Orange Theory is about the only place that does something like that. Do you think that that's, to your point, is just kind of leaned into as more as a gimmick? Kind of like, hey, look at you're in the fat burn zone.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I did it with you, it was the pyramid thing, and mine was like damn near perfect. And they're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I was just trying to full send it because Josh was screaming at me to go harder on the rower. And they were like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how I did that.
3,000 calories an hour on.
Yeah.
Just,
But I think the biggest thing, I don't think it seems so naive, but CrossFit needs to stay in its own lane.
Okay.
Orange Theory, F45, those places do well because CrossFit's really hard.
Mm.
And they're not. Like, Orange Theory is a great
I
workout.
remember after we're done, they were like, yeah, it's because you're a CrossFitter. And I was
Yeah.
like, you guys can all push just as hard.
Yeah,
Exactly.
poke it.
Probably more
CrossFit
what I
is
chose to do.
Orange
Yeah.
Theory,
They're all
F45,
CrossFit themselves.
Burn Boot Camp. They're all great workouts. But CrossFit is just harder. There's more movements. There's more challenge. There's more everything. It's just harder.
Mm-hmm.
And the accessibility is what makes F45 more attractive to everyone.
Just a lower barrier of entry.
To that point,
Yeah,
you
lower
can still
skill.
you can pull things from. So like, don't start putting chest straps on every one of your members, but like, if there's the benefit in having actionable feedback, well, then just start talking about that to your class.
Mhm.
Like, okay, well, like wall balls should be taking you this long or this many. Like, I mean, it's a super common to hear at this gym. Talk about it a bunch. Like, it should take you 2 sets.
Mhm.
It takes you more than 2 sets. Let's change something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Something
that,
else-
that is the same as a heart rate like zone.
Stay
just
in
a
the
different
green
accent.
zone or the what?
Yeah. Something I was trying to do before I coach classes, like if I'm doing the workout, this is how I'm going to tackle it.
Right.
And the workout's X, Y, and Z. I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm going unbroken here. I'm breaking
You know
this
what's
up.
wild is if you ever taken a class, and I've no shame, it's whatever, we all have our own journey. If you ever taken a class with someone who is not fit, I mean, and I don't necessarily mean like Presley's very fit, right? And I don't mean like comparing to her. I mean just compared to your general, take 10 steps back, that's where they're at. Coach a class and give that same feedback. It's horrible.
Are you saying like someone who's
They'll be
coaching,
like-
somebody's coaching a class that's not fit, giving me feedback?
Yeah,
they would
of what-
tackle it? Yeah, no, it's happened a bunch. We've had it happen.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh,
You're taking a class with someone who is not fit.
there's 30
You
pull-ups.
don't like this person.
How I'll break this up, it'll be 5 pull-ups at a time because it'll tax me, and I think you guys should do it too. And I'm like, I'm gonna go unbroken. And they'll be like, you're gonna do what? Like,
But I
that's
think-
impossible. And I'm like, no, it's possible for me. But I wouldn't like
Yeah.
shitting on it. I'd do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
exact same thing. This is how
Yeah.
I would tackle it. And
Yeah.
I give like 2 or 3 options. I'm like, I'm garbage at this, and this is how I do it. If you're good, do it like this, you know. So, but to your point, I think that's good. But I was just wondering if you ever actually heard someone who's
I
not
guess,
good.
I guess I just don't listen.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's almost as if you're putting a brake on the whole class.
Well, but
Like that weight's really heavy, guys. I personally would have to scale it to like 50% of that weight. So it's really heavy, and you're like, I planned on touch and going the whole thing.
Well, but having taken Josh's class, it's not like I would do this and this way, so you should. It's I'm gonna do this in these sets because it feels like this for me
Gotcha. Yeah,
in this range or this whatever.
and that's kind of
right?
what
Like,
the point I was trying to get
like
at.
I'm
is-
gonna do singles on this barbell because I'm here. You should not even have this weight on the barbell.
right.
I'm not gonna say that. I would say that to
Right.
people, but like, but still,
Yeah,
right?
you would
Like,
say that.
But so the other question I kind of had was like the repeatable stuff with like the programming. Like I hate repeating workouts personally because I hate redoing them because I know how it felt. I'm like, oh God, it's gonna hurt. I can hurt myself in every kind of workout, but I'm like at minute 4 is whenever you folded and like your breathing went to full asthmatic breathing. Cool, can't wait to hit that again. But do you think that I've been trying to do more repeating workouts? If you noticed, if you haven't
have.
noticed,
I have.
like looking back like 3 or 4 months ago and being like, well, we did that workout
like
on a Monday. Let's do it on a Wednesday.
there's
Do
a
you think
benefit
this
to
stuff?
it.
Yeah.
Benefit to it, but
I
like,
Like what are cons
You
against
like it?
doing
but
something
like,
like that?
if this
Yeah.
comes up and this is class one, I'm
Yeah,
pointing at
the open workout.
26.1. If 26.1 is a class WOD, and you start to have the conversation of like, I mean, it's an after class thing. You say, okay, like just keep an eye on what wall balls feel like. Like you can retest the idea of high volume wall balls
Mhm.
without retesting a workout.
Right.
Yeah, there are a bunch of other factors that are going to come into it, but like, I mean, we were big 2018, 19, I think. We were pretty big into doing like that kind of stuff over and over again. Like if competition comes around, I won't test any of the workouts for a competition.
Same.
I don't like to do it because I get in my own head about it.
Same.
I test a bunch of movement combinations to know what things are going to feel like.
Right.
But that is maybe not the same as retesting workouts because you still want to retest workouts, but like that is a similar benefit to retesting workouts of like how do wall balls feel? Like what sets do you do in wall balls? Keep an eye on it, and like you can improve your sets of wall balls or
Right.
improve
You
your
normally break up at
efficacy with wall
10,
balls.
see if you can do 15s
or how long your
whatever.
breaks are going to be, or if we redo grace. If we do grace, you don't have to redo grace. So no, you've improved at grace because the next time you do,
30 clean and jerks in a workout.
or a
something,
set of 10 clean and jerks. Like,
Right.
are you going touch and go? Or are you going
Right.
singles with less rest? Like, that can still be there in the conversation with the class.
And how long do you have to wait before your
Right. And
redo?
that was what I was
Exactly.
having a hard time with is how long do you go between repeating workouts?
Before it's just, well, it's one way just
I
to
haven't
force
gotten
intensity,
fitter,
right?
I got smarter.
Right. It's one way just to force intensity, but if I know my score from 26.1, I know I can beat it.
See, no.
And I just have to go a little bit harder and hold
I
on.
know my score
Yeah.
and I know how hard I went and how deep in the pancake to get that. I don't know if I can go back there.
You could.
That's what I always tell myself.
You could, though. You would.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how
You
many open workouts I have repeated and not PR'd.
Well, the redo for
All of them. Just kidding.
I finished the one that the thrusters at 135 the year they did it
Mm-hmm.
with a couple minutes left, I want to say, or a minute, 50 seconds. Like, I finished. I did it again. I didn't even get to the barbell slips.
Right.
So, like, going way back, we're talking about, like,
Right.
does that push people away because it's too competitive? Like, that was the most disappointed I've ever been in a workout.
Yeah.
Like,
I know that
I
feeling
was
a lot.
pissed.
So
Yeah.
you're just like, well,
I just
I'm done.
wasted 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I almost punched my judge in the face for, like,
Telling you
being really
you
nice.
are
Like, he
much
was
worse.
counting my reps. He didn't say anything. He just was counting my reps.
He
I almost
just
punched
needed
him.
to
You
hit
got
somebody.
this.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so, like, it's all there, right?
Right. And then do you think that is, I mean, we keep bringing it back to this type of person and what you're into. Do you think that is what would make people not want to come back more
people.
often than not? Kind
Some
of the
people.
performance aspect.
I think the people that don't come back because they have gotten unfit aren't here.
It is interesting how performance is the thing that we really push as opposed to body, because once you start focusing more on performance, I feel like the body follows.
It comes, yeah.
But performance will make or break your whether you had fun or not.
You got Ozempic now for the body anyway. Don't really worry about it.
If you don't know, talk to Josh. He'll get you a cut. It's through his company.
Hashtag,
Hashtag sponsored by, not sponsored.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Cannot
Cool.
confirm.
Um,
Sorry, Molly.
I think next topic I kind of want to dive into more is going to be into the high rocks, into the other things of things that have evolved out of CrossFit, like whether those are, I don't know, good, bad, fad, they coming and going, they staying, they getting better.
I had a thought. It was early on, and this has no validity in it. I'm interested to see how much. Shut up, Josh. But I mean, you were talking about like people that like go find something new.
Mhm.
Like, is there a correlation between how old CrossFit is, how many people have been doing it for a while, and like high rocks being popular?
It's the new popular thing. It's the new
do you
new girl in school.
It's like people,
You think it's
people
that?
wanting to find like I'm
It's a
gonna go
mystery.
do this.
It's
I mean,
hot.
like Taylor,
Yeah.
like there's something I can go focus on. I'm still gonna go do my CrossFit, but there's just a new thing to focus on.
Like gymnastics or strength.
I have no
Or,
validity yet. I'm never gonna run a high rocks. I'm just trying to figure out why.
No,
it's so
I'm
popular,
thinking the
because it
same
seems
thing.
Like no
It's
fun.
easy.
what do y'all want to talk about
Relative.
next time? Because we're at an hour.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that.
let's do it next time.
Cool. All right. Next time we'll talk about other
Next time,
avenues of fitness.
all about high rocks.
That's it.
and
We're gonna
I
shit
am-
on it the whole time.
The professional to talk to about high
I will.
rocks.
No, I'm just kidding.
We should also talk about how CrossFit single-handedly saved USAW. That's something I want.
Yeah, Josh was
Yeah,
saying that. I didn't know.
let's
I
talk.
Yeah.
didn't
Isn't that
know that
crazy?
statistic.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
know
know there was a statistic out
It
there.
also
I have
built,
no idea what that means.
it also
so I
built
would love to hear about it.
F45, Orange Theory, all of those things.
All right. We'll chat about it next time.